little Samson stretch. So take one knee and squeeze the glute. So I'll do this side. So squeeze, tuck, press forward, open up the hip flexors, hands go up, push the hip toward the kneeling side. We're looking to stretch this whole lat area into the QL muscle, which is back here. So don't be afraid to really reach forward. Make sure you're breathing. We are in Strength Week as a reminder. Got some fun stuff today. This is the glue. Let's get rocking and rolling. I love it. All right, a little pyramid. Not a Ponzi, but a pyramid scheme. A plus B, A plus B plus C, A plus B plus D, A plus B plus C plus D plus E, and then back down. That was a mouthful, but exercise A, all these exercises are actually geared up to help you with the Pendlay Row. First is a kettlebell halo. We're gonna take the bell upside down here, then drop it down, right? So those elbows are facing the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes, keep the core nice and tight, and then you're doing big halos around the crown of your forehead. One direction, trying to keep the elbows up high, and then two, so opposite direction, right? We're in alternating directions. Try not to move your head around the bell. The goal is to open up your shoulders and get them moved, not so much your neck, right? It's not really safe to move your neck and your shoulders at the same time. Just try to keep that head neutral, right? Doing 10 each of those. Next up is a good morning. Trying to get the lower back fired up and the core engaged to help support that Pendlay Row later on in the workout. So we're holding a kettlebell or plate. If you have a plate, just gonna simply hinge over at the waist, keeping that whatever object you have in your front part of your body, however you're holding it, regardless, you're trying to keep it close to your body using the upper back muscles to pull back and keep that weight close. That's gonna help you with the neutral spine as you do your good mornings. Okay, hinging over, getting that hamstring stretch, coming right back up, feeling the movement throughout. Exercise C is a walkout, trying to keep the legs as straight as possible, trying to get into that fold position. And then you can walk yourself out to a high plank and walk yourself back, trying to fold over at the waist. If you have to, of course, bend your knees if you can in the beginning, but eventually try to straighten them. But if you have to bend them in the beginning to walk yourself out, that's no problem. Just again, looking for a stretch back here. So try to move towards straightening your legs. We're doing 5. Next up, exercise D. It's a get up. I'm sorry, it's a Deadbug. Deadbug. So we're gonna use that same kettlebell. Only one piece of equipment for your warm up. Keep that lower back smashed into the ground. Tabletop position, we're looking to go opposite. So my left leg goes back, my right arm comes back, right? Then right back to center. So that kettlebell stays stable, so there's that opposite knee. Doing one side at a time, 10 reps, then flip, obviously rotate to the other side. Key component, you're eliminating that arch in your lower back. Okay, and then exercise E is a full get up. We did a lot of them last week, and I'm loving the form. You guys are really starting to master it, right? Even yesterday you were doing it, it was great.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna keep on doing them. Get up, elbow, hand, hips up, pull that leg through, perpendicular 90-degree angles. Pressing off, rotate that top shoulder, and then square your hips up, stand up. Rinse and repeat, reverse, boom, adjust, hand, hip, elbow, all the way down. And then rinse and repeat over the head on the other side. Okay, only doing 1 each of those. Warm up should take about anywhere from 20, maybe 25 minutes. Okay, here we go. Work period. Pendlay Row. We're going to take 5 minutes. And we're going to use a progressive overload. And you're going to try to find a weight at the end of by the end of that 5 minutes that you're going to use for another 5 minutes and see how many pounds you could lift in 5 minutes. So it's going to be a 10-minute window. The first 5 is a progressive overload to get yourself to a weight that you're comfortable with using. Whatever that weight is. It could be different for everybody. Obviously, it's going to be different for everybody. But once you find that weight, I'm going to start the clock, and it's going to be 5 minutes of collecting weight. And then we're going to do the adding up, and we're going to figure out what our finisher is going to look like based upon that 5 minutes of work. It makes it a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner to like calculate reps and stuff like that. It's not as noisy. So Pendlay Row is going to be a great exercise to build, I'll say, strength in the posterior chain, the back muscles, the muscles in your back, which are hamstrings, lower back, upper back, all that fun stuff that support your spine. So Pendlay Row means you're going to stop the weight each rep. You're always going to come down to a stop. Row, keeping those hips in a neutral position, or a hinge position I should say. Trying to draw those shoulders back, those elbows back as far as possible, as quick as possible, without moving your hips. Okay? I have kettlebells here with a plate, with 2 plates as a platform. You can obviously use barbell. If you have the weights that are big enough to go to the ground. If you're at the level to use a barbell, you might be able to use a barbell with a lower weight. Yeah, with the 10 pound. But same rules apply. Trying to keep that back flat. Trying to keep our hips stable and strong. Pressing our feet into the ground as we lift that weight up toward our chest. Okay, squeezing our shoulder blades back. Okay, so 5 minutes worth of finding a weight. Take your time, use progressive overload, meaning start lighter, and then build up. And after that 5 minutes, then we'll start counting reps, collecting poundage. And we're going to use that number for our finisher. Alright guys, now that you have your reps, we're going to divide those reps into 2 exercises. That poundage, I should say. So whatever pound you came up with within that 5 minutes, we're going to break it up into 2 exercises. Here they are. First is going to be a thruster, which is a front squat in an overhead press. So kettlebells, dumbbells, whatever you got. Nice deep squat. Building power through the feet and hips. Getting that weight above your head. Okay? Exercise number 1. Divide your weight, how much weight you're using, into that factor, that number you just came up with after your Pendlay rows. Exercise number 2 is going to be a kettlebell swing. Also a lower body power movement. Okay, keep that kettlebell close to your zipper, hips back, thrust, core is nice and tight. Divide that by the weight of the kettlebell that you're using, and figure out if you can get that same poundage done within those 2 exercises. 5-minute time cap. Let's go.